Alright, so for my first trick, I'm going to break down this frame. Going to take off everything I don't need. For example, skid plate, gas tank, exhaust system, etc. Take the wheels off. Maybe even take the brakes apart because it'll need new brakes anyways. Yeah, here we go. And so the Gigapony project starts. I got it torn down pretty good. I think I'm gonna call it a night tonight. Let me show you what we got here. Alright, so let me zoom out a little bit. So it's basically down to whatever I'm gonna leave on there. I just left the wheels on tonight in case I need to roll it around. But yeah, it's pretty bare frame. The rear axle is going to get a 4-link, so that's why I loosened all of these bolts holding it on, so that way I can easily pull it off when I'm ready to. And then this curve section right here is going to get cut out, because in order to put a body on it, even though this is a unibody car, it's still, basically flat underneath, right? So I need the frame to be flat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut right here, and I'm gonna cut right about here. Then I'm going to weld them together and brace them so it's a real strong joint. Then it'll be nice and flat the whole way. And yes, I know I'm going to be losing some length. That's okay, because this is a pretty long frame already. And in case you saw it just a second ago, I did get some tires. These are 46-inch Michelin military tires. But I'm not sure if they'll work on the 20-inch GMC Yukon wheels that I got, because the beads on these things are massive. I mean, holy crap. They are massive. Like, here's my finger for reference. So it's about 1.25 inches, I'd say, right here. And normal car and truck wheels, the beads on the rims are not that big. So I think I'm gonna have to go with something else. I also got my transmission here. This is an SM 465. The same transmission I used in that Nissan Patrol build a while back, if anyone remembers that. Alright, so taking it easy. I'm not gonna pull any all-nighters, don't want to work too hard, but I do want to get it done hopefully by October. Right now is the end of May, so June, July, August, September. 4 to 4.5 months. I wonder if I can do it. Oh, it might be pushing it. We'll see what happens. Because October is one of my good friend's car shows that he hosts, and it would be awesome to drive this thing up there. All right, yeah, stay tuned. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the frame basically done and sitting how I want it. So I'm going to cut out the S section, weld it together. I'm going to try to get 40-inch tires for the rear, and I think 30s or 32s for the front. So I have I guess you could say a sketch or a blueprint of the Gigahorse. And what I did was I imported it into my CAD program. I sized it to where the rear wheel was 70 inches, because that information is known. And what I did was I then, on the same scale, drew a circle around the front wheel, and I think that was like 46 or 48 inches, I don't know, 49 inches. And I found the ratio between rear tire size to front tire size, and I would like to keep that same ratio on this project. So that way, it's just one more element that's closer to the real Gigahorse. So I want to do that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice the frame. I say slice, not cut, because I'm not going to cut this top part. I'm just going to cut like from here down on both sides. That way I can do this with the frame and get the angle that I need, which on the Gigahorse it was about 8.9 degrees. The reason I'm going to do that instead of just going like this with the frame is because I'm just going to leave the independent front suspension on here, and in order to keep the alignment correct or good or usable, this section has to be, flat. Like right here, this is flat. That has to stay flat. If I do this with the whole frame, including the front end, it's going to be so hard to drive this thing straight down the road. It's going to be insane. It's going to be undrivable, honestly. So I'm going to leave this front end from here forward is going to stay. It's just going to be level. I might try to do a lift kit like what all the squatted trucks do. They just lift the front, except I'm going to just lift the front, but then I'm going to do a custom rear lift with a 4-link and coils and everything. So, but the front's going to stay IFS. The front's going to stay level, if you will. And then the back, like 3/4 of this thing, is going to pick up to where I need it to match the Gigahorse. So I'm going to do that first with the frame, and then I'll go from there, I guess. On the Gigahorse, there's a lot of space between the front of the engine and, I guess, like behind the front grill. Let's just call this a normal car. Just imagine the engine is turned the correct way. Here's the front of the engine. Here's the front of the engine, right? And then here's the grill. That's about a foot, maybe 16 inches, 12 to 16 inches. I don't know. depending on where exactly you measure from. Well, the Gigahorse, the front of the engine is here. Let me line this up. The front of the engine is here, and the grill is like way out here. So it's going to be kind of hard positioning everything correctly. I have to put the body on to where the rear wheel arches are still going to end up over the rear wheels. I already know I'm going to have to move the axle back. Once I chop the frame and bring it in, I'm going to have to move that axle back, which is fine. That's no problem. And then this fender is going to get cut like right here on both sides. Basically just a big cut all the way across. And that it's just going to come up, stop. And then that's going to go, over the front wheels. But then I have to position the engine to where there's enough room to put like a big-ass intercooler and a big-ass radiator and whatever else, So, yeah, a lot of work ahead, but it should be fun. I wonder if anyone else has ever built their own Gigahorse. If you have, let me know. Besides that, stay tuned. We'll see how things go. All right, peace.